What? Um, you guys are incredible. October was incredible. Everything's incredible. Um, what a crazy month. If you're new around here, once a month, probably in the first week or so after, the previous month, I review what happened on the channel in that previous month. I'm big on transparency. I show you as much as YouTube allows me to show you so that you can kind of get a glimpse into what's going on in the channel. I think it's I don't know, it's an honest look at what's going on. So if things go south, you guys know things are going south. If things are going well, you know they're going well. And let's just say October, they were going well. Let's list out all the things I'm going to ramble about. And if you could tell, I have a list that I'm looking at on my screen that you can't see. So that's why, my eyes aren't looking directly into your souls. Anyway, let's talk about all the things we're going to ramble about on today. October, when everything exploded and it was incredible, I made money on YouTube for the first time. We're going to talk about that as a community and what that might mean. We're going to talk about upcoming content. It's November. We're getting into like the holidays where everything goes on sale and we just buy everything. And then how you can help the channel. So, let's talk about October. Right. So, views are up a bit. Something like 400% over September. Watch time, let me look at my spreadsheet over here, is up 270%. We had 77% more likes, 160% more comments, 1,188% more subs added. We added more subs in 1 month in October than we had since the channel started in January of 2017. We entered the month at, I believe, like 268 subs, and we wrapped up the month at 577 subscribers. So if you're one of those new subscribers, say hi in the comments. I love when people subscribe. I love even more when they subscribe and they join the community and they join the Discord in the description and they comment. That's where you start really getting that community feel, and that is just, I mean, I was like freaking out a good part of October. I was freaking out. So what happened? Well, the U.S. men's national team failed to reach the World Cup is really what happened. And I put up a video, I think it was the day after, explaining how I was absolutely heartbroken over that and how I was upset, and I was talking about how like my son was not going to love soccer, and like I had all this stuff planned for the World Cup and we were going to celebrate and all that kind of stuff, and like that just kind of like disappeared because the coaching staff and the players didn't do their jobs in Trinidad and Tobago. I really intended that video to be just an update for the little community that we had growing here. Like, hey, I'm not gonna have a video out today, maybe not tomorrow. Like, I was absolutely gutted last night. I need to recover from that. And my goodness, I was all I was trying to do is put out an update. And then that's where you see this giant spike. Where we went from, if you see this here, right? This is before this happened. We're getting 275, 394, 167, like 300, maybe on a good day, 400 views, right? Cool. And then we got 7,800 views in one day, and the second day we got 6,600, 6,700. And it was to one video. I got more views. Let's scroll down here. I got more. I got more views. I got 14,000 views on that video, which is more than double what we had on the channel the entire month of September. I was like, oh my gosh, is this going viral? Like, it wasn't viral like millions of views, but for, I guess, the US soccer community, it was pretty big. And a piece of it was like, oh gosh, here I am moping on the channel about the US not making the World Cup, and I really intended it to be for a small audience, and now like thousands of potential viewers are seeing this thing. But apparently people liked it, and they didn't run off. So I've got a ton of subscribers. You can see the spike here, right? We'll click on that in a second, but you can see there's a huge spike in the number of subscribers. And I took that idea and kind of ran with it and started talking about how I would fix US soccer, because obviously once you don't make the World Cup, things kind of went crazy, and like lots of people want to see what's going on, and like, hey, what are your ideas? And you know, like it's not nearly as much, right? But part one on the coaching badges and how ridiculously expensive they are in the United States. If you want to get badged to coach soccer, that's up to $2,800. It's probably gonna, I mean, it should, but easily by the end of November break 3,000, if not 3,500 views. And again, like my highest videos up to that point, like if I released a video and I got a lot of views, like 200 was a lot of views, and so it was kind of big, right? So that's really, and then I ran with it, right? Like you land on a good thing and you start making more content for it. It was kind of handy that Football Manager 2017 was kind of falling off at that point because the beta was coming out and now it's already out, and we'll talk about that in a second. And so that gave me kind of fresh content to put out there and to a slightly different audience. And as you can see in October, those are the most popular videos: part 1, part 2, part 3, part 6, part 5, part 4, and part 7. And Save the Crew is really a US soccer topic. So of the top 10 videos in October, only one of them was the launch of my beta save. And that's absolutely crazy. And like, it's a ton of views for a small channel like mine, right? So I want to say thanks. It was kind of crazy. I hope you guys will stick around. So if you're a new subscriber and you came because of the US soccer content, I do have more of that content coming. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But it was absolutely nutty. Like, it got the United States about 45% of my geography in October because of the number of views up here. And I'm sure it's part of these too. Obviously, it's about US soccer. Up until that point, Denmark was kind of carrying the flag at like 45-50% of my views because I was doing that save in FM17 in Denmark. So that was absolutely, I mean, I was like, refreshing the analytics on my phone a lot, you might say, because it was just like, what's happening? Why am I getting thousands of views on this? Which leads into our next topic is I made money for the first time on YouTube. So you see here, I made $38.92 on YouTube. I'm 99.9% sure I can show that to you. Hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble with YouTube. I just think I can't show you the ad rates. And as you can see, I made $8 right with that spike. This is like the tragic thing. Like, up until that point, I had decided I was going to use Patreon on the channel because it's like Football Manager videos is a very niche thing. Gaming even is kind of a niche thing. And I'm not doing like the big games, right? Like Football Manager is kind of more of a niche game. This War of Mine is a niche game, right? Same thing with Motorsport Manager. I'm not doing like Call of Duty or, you know, pick your favorite video game, right? That everybody plays. And so my overall idea has been to get a group of like really core subscribers, really, you know, fans is it just seems weird to say the word fans, but I don't know if there's a better word for it. That once I get everything set up from a business standpoint on like in the United States, that I would open up a Patreon and people would, you know, support me $5 a month, something like that. And that's how I was thinking I was going to be generating revenue. And then this started happening and I was going like, I'm missing out on making money here. And I don't know how many people are going to stick around that come to see the US soccer video, because it was kind of like, we didn't make the World Cup. There's going to be a big spike of interest. And then obviously it's probably going to fall off a good bit. Good thing we only have 5 years to talk about it. So I had an old AdSense account and I threw it on there. And so not all of those 14,000 views were monetized. I'd honestly say about 3,000 of those views are monetized, which is actually kind of sad because I could have made a lot more money off of that one video. But I was totally not expecting that to happen. I was just trying to put an update for the community that we already had. And it kind of blew up. So after that, I said, okay, well, that made some money. And I struggle personally with ads because I'll watch them on the channels I support, but for some reason in my head, I feel guilty asking you to watch ads on a channel you support, which would be my channel, right? If like you're consistently coming back for my content, you must like what I'm doing, and it's not costing you anything. But I don't know, it's just like a weird thing in my head where I go like, do I really want to do that? But I thought this is a good time to experiment. Because we're trying new stuff out on the channel. I've got FM18 beta save going on. It was kind of a lull in content leading up to that. I thought, hey, this is a good opportunity to just experiment. And if you've ever tried a small business, which is essentially what I'm trying to do on YouTube, experimenting and trying new things and tweaking and stuff like that is vitally important, because that's how you learn and you pick up new things. You go like, oh, well, that worked, or that didn't work, and then you adjust. And so I don't know if I don't want to risk trying to show you, but essentially I don't know anything about inserting ads into YouTube videos. Like, I literally know nothing. Apparently you can go on a video and you can manually select where to put an ad, or there's a thing called suggested placement, which is essentially YouTube does some sort of analysis on the video, and maybe it's where I have the fade in and fade out or something like that. Like I don't really know. But you hook suggested placement and it'll automatically throw ads into the videos for you. I know a lot of gaming channels, or a lot of channels really, do like just a pre-roll ad, which is an ad before your content, like a 30-second or 15-second. I don't think you can control that. I know we had a discussion a couple months ago on the analytics review, and people said, like, just don't put the unskippable ads. I'm not seeing a way to avoid that. Like, there's not like an option like put 15-second skippable ads or put 30-second non-skippable. It's just like before the video, do you want to have an ad? So I essentially hit in each video, because you can customize it per video, suggested placement, and I'm just kind of rolling with that because I figure YouTube knows a lot more about ad placement than I do. My only fear with that, and this is one of the first things I'm going to ask you, it's the first thing I'm going to ask you in this video, is does it bother you? Because I don't want to be, I'm not watching the videos when they're monetized, because I'm, way back when you had websites, when you had AdSense, like if you like clicked on your own ads or like watched your own stuff, like it would throw the analytics off, and then like they got mad at you and kick you out of programs and whatever. So I'm kind of deathly afraid to watch my own videos to see what ads are playing. I know there are video ads. I know there are like the ads that pop up in the video and you click when they go away. So I know there's more than one in each video. Like there's one before, a lot of times there's one after, and there's one or two in the middle. And I want to get some feedback from you if you've been watching that content. What do you think? Like, does it frustrate you, or are you kind of like, cool, man, like, I'm glad you made some money. This is like the first time in 9 months that you made money doing, or 10 months, I don't know, that you made money on YouTube. More power to you. It doesn't bother me at all. That's what I'd like to hear from you, because I don't like, my biggest fear, I guess, as a content creator is like, by putting ads on content, it drives people away. Like, I'd much rather build up to having 10,000 subscribers and not make hardly any money doing it in order to make a lot more money later, if that makes sense, than to make like $39 in 1 month, but like not grow the channel as much. Now, what I saw in October is like we monetized a bunch of content and we grew 309 subscribers. And it wasn't like, let's go click on this. This is a ramble. I apologize. You can see here, right? Like we're adding a 1 or 3 or 2 subs a day, and then 41, 74, 17, 28. We're in the double digits for the most part. Now it dipped down here a little bit, and then it's popped back up more recently, right? So now it's like, we haven't had a 0 day like since that happened, which is kind of weird and awesome. So the channel has continued to grow from a subscriber standpoint, and if we go back, let's go just look at views, right? From a view standpoint, right? We were down here in the 200s, and now like we're up here in the 200, 800, 300, 400, 500, 700. Like we've kind of, it's almost like we've leveled up, if you're a gamer like I am, right? And then if you go look at the watch time, same thing. Like watch time is a little more sporadic, I think. Depends on when I've got videos coming out, but like this is, it's a significant increase. But again, if the ads really, really, really bother you, I'd like to know. But okay, how do I want to say this? I kind of need to hear from everybody, right? Because it's like you go online and you read reviews. Like a majority of the reviews, if someone's like mad about a product, they generally will go on and put a comment. If you're completely happy with a product, you're not going to go on and put a comment. Like my Yeti mic, my Blue Yeti mic that I use, I've not left a review on Amazon for that because it works fine and I don't mind. If it had, come in the box broken, I probably would have left a review. So I'm not sure how to do that to get a better feel from all of you. I don't know if anybody loves ads, but if like you're very pro ad and you're like, hey, we're good, I want to hear from you. If you're kind of neutral and don't care, I want to hear from you. If you like really don't like them, I want to hear from you. I think we're gonna kind of keep the experiment going for a little bit because I don't have things set up on Patreon yet, but I'm working towards that because I am just overall philosophically I'm a believer in the Patreon model where you have a core group of people who like really love your content and see the value and like, hey, you know, I watched 30 of your videos in a month. That's worth $5 or $10 to me, right? I think there's more of a connection from a community standpoint, and I'd like to build towards that. But in the meantime, like it may not seem like much to you all. Like, yeah, you made $38.92 and you got to pay tax on it. Like, it probably ends up being about $30, you know, or whatever. But that's a game, right? That's half of my green screen. Like, it's not insignificant. Now, compared to the amount of work that's gone into, yeah, it's relatively small. But if it's just starting out, you know, is it worth it to continue doing it? So I'm gonna stop rambling about that. But I it's just something that I'm really cautious of. I don't want to be the guy that's like, man, I watched a 10-minute video and there's 18 ads, right? Like that's just silly. So I don't want to do that. So upcoming content, let's talk about that. So FM18 beta is out, as you might have noticed. We've got Salvaging Sunderland rolling. Really difficult. I've had to learn a lot. The obviously lots of stuff changed between FM17 and FM18. And then not only that, but I picked a team with a high injury rate just from the players, like the players' attributes and history, which I didn't know about Sunderland, which is something I've learned. Had several people comment, the Northmen in the Discord channel, or I think either that or in Twitter, let me know. And then Max Zidane, there's a bunch of people like, hey, I'm actually a fan of Sunderland. Unfortunately, we got relegated. And also, by the way, we had lots of injuries. Well, that's reflected in the game, and they've kind of upped the ante on the injuries in the game anyway. So it just was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? But FM18 is coming. So the beta's out. The full game will be out by the time this video is released, like 5 days, November 10th. I'm going to have a thing popping up with the intro. I've already picked out what my club save is going to be, where we stick with one club and try and, you know, get promoted, get into the Europa League, get into the Champions League, like win it all, kind of hopefully a long-term save where I don't get fired, because that would be kind of tragic if that happened, right? We're also going to be doing a journeyman save where we kind of do what we did with From Back to Boss, but I'm narrowing down. All I'm going to say right now is that I'm narrowing down where that journeyman is going to take place, so that I think some of the people who enjoyed the other non-journeyman save in FM17 might want to stick around. Okay, so that's FM content that's coming up. I've also got Motorsport Manager. If you have not been watching Motorsport Manager, if you like Football Manager, you will love Motorsport Manager. I think you will. I'm not even a huge like F1 or racing fan. I used to be, kind of back in the day. Like it was like BMW was the F1 team. I can't remember anyway. But I'm really enjoying that. And spoiler alert. Okay, you good? If you don't want to see the spoiler, you might want to like skip ahead 30 seconds. Okay. All right. We're entering our 5th season, and we just got promoted for the first time in Motorsport Manager. So we moved up a league, as it were, in the racing world, and we're going to have to see how it turns out, because it looks like it's a massive step up where only the top 6 teams get points, and we're not expected to be a top 6 team. So if you haven't been watching Motorsport Manager, now is a great time to hop back into the channel. I'm going to have another card pop up here for you so that you can go to the playlist and kind of get caught up, or just wait for that next episode to come out, which should be out in a couple days, because I've been doing a lot of FM18 beta recording, but I'm going to get back on the bandwagon. I don't know. I'm kind of in charge of the bandwagon with Motorsport Manager. I also, this past week, they had the Halloween sale, or whatever they were calling it, sale on Steam, and I saw XCOM 2. If you watch Loki Doki, he started and got, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes into an XCOM 2 DLC save or series, and then kind of had to stop it because of all the stuff he's planning to do with Football Manager 2018, which I respect. I was crushed because like I was really enjoying watching him do that save, Interesting thing that he did, and that's why I'm trying to get Patreon set up, is he had like a special tier in his Patreon. Like if you donate X amount, then I'll name my soldiers in XCOM after you, like one of my soldiers after you, and then hopefully not get you killed. But apparently in XCOM, lots of people die, and that's just inevitable. So I was hooked on that. The DLC was not on sale, but the XCOM 2 was, and I picked it up. It was like $24, $25, something like that. Or no, maybe it was like, I got like the digital deluxe, which was a bunch of other DLC, so it was $30. So again, you know, the ad revenue this past month helped obviously pay for that. But I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, because FM18, the full game, is coming out really quickly, so I want to hop into that and really get going with that. We also have This War of Mine still going as well. I need to get back into that. So there's a lot of stuff going on the channel, but I'm curious, if we set up a Patreon, would that be something that you'd be interested in? If there was like a special tier, I think Loki Doki was like $20. I don't know if I would have mine at a channel of this size. I don't think I'd set mine that high, but maybe like $10 or something like that. If you want to have a soldier in XCOM named after you, and then sorry in advance when I, you know, you get offed by some alien or something like that, right? So that's what's going on from an upcoming content standpoint. I was gonna show you. Oh, I didn't show you the spreadsheet. We won't spend a lot of time on this because I've already yacked on about it for a long time. But this is the spreadsheet. Let me show. Where is it? There it is. Just showing the growth of the channel. I'm like, just look at the views. Boom, right? Like that's crazy. Same thing with watch time. Everything's up. I just wanted to show this to you because I figured somebody might ask, like, why didn't you show the spreadsheet? So you go like, this is the per day aspect, right? Going from 208 to 1,008, you know, plus 800 views in a month is per day is just what is happening. Same thing with watch time. That's up like 4,000 minutes a day. Likes is almost double, you know, like 20 more likes a day. Comments are up almost triple, right? Like 2.5 times as many comments. And then subs added. I mean, you go from 0.8 subs a day to 10. What? Like, thank you so much for your support. Obviously, we had a drop off in the average view duration because, you know, we had a bunch of people come see that first video that was getting a lot of traction and decide within the first minute, like, oh, this guy's just moping about the game. Deuces, right? Like, I'm out. I'm okay with that because we had so many views and the watch time still was more than, I mean, that's a lot of watch time. That is just an insane amount of watch time. So average percentage viewed only dropped 34%, which is really interesting to me. I think it's because we had some longer videos that people actually watched a lot of. And then subscriber average viewed only dropped 1% too. And that's with a bunch of new subscribers. So thank you so much. I show this, I try and show this again from a transparency standpoint. It's just, it's just crazy, right? Like those percentages are absolutely, the percentages, the actual numbers, all that is just absolutely freaking mind blowing. And I can't thank you enough for supporting my channel. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So let's talk about how you can help the channel. If you're new here, if you've been around, you probably heard me say this, but I think it's worth a reminder every month, is if you like somebody's content, not just mine, hopefully mine, but if you like anybody's content on YouTube, it means a boatload. It means so much when you do a couple different things, because it helps YouTube recognize, oh, it's probably a good channel, right? Like, that'd be cool if we could support that channel, right? One of those things is watching videos, right? Like logging onto YouTube, going to your notifications, clicking on subscribe, whatever. But when you come in and you actually watch the episodes that are in your subscription box, I'm not saying you have to watch all the series. You may not care for This War of Mine. You may not care for Motorsport Manager. I think you should try it. But, you know, it tells YouTube, if you come in and you watch a significant chunk of a video, like obviously I've never had my subscribers watch more than 40%. So you're automatically, like, on average missing half of every episode, which is weird to think about, but like, okay. But if you come in and you watch 50%, that's showing YouTube this is a good video. If you come in and watch 50% and you leave a like on it, that means so much, right? So we were up 77% on likes compared to 270% on watch time. it would be nice if those were closer, right? Because if you're watching, hopefully you're also liking, because it's a clear indicator to YouTube. I like this content. Give me more of this content, and I think other people should see this content. Same thing with the comments. We had really good discussions, especially on the US soccer videos, because obviously that was more of a, you know, discussion type topic. Like, do you agree with my suggestion on how to fix US soccer, so on and so forth, right? But coming in and joining the comments, even if you say like, hey man, great video, really enjoyed it, or hey, I subscribed last month, keep it up. Giving it some substance where I know it's real would probably help than just like a smiley face or something like that. But again, it shows YouTube like there's a discussion going here, there's a community here, let's drive more people towards that channel. Obviously subscribing is huge. If you're subscribing to the channel, it means you're getting hand delivered the videos. I do want to show you one thing. I try and show this every time we do this now. Let me go up here. Let me just go pick a random channel. Let's try US Soccer. Does US Soccer? Surely they've got a channel, right? Sadly enough. So I'm not subscribed to them. It's telling, hey, you want to subscribe? So let's go ahead and subscribe here. And then you see this bell? This bell is critically important. Get notified about every new video. So when I do that, what ends up happening, obviously that changes, is there are times if you go to your subscriptions where YouTube has a brain fart and they don't like notify people, or they don't put your video into the subscription boxes. Sometimes it's a scheduling thing where like you schedule a video for 9 o'clock Eastern and it just doesn't go out, and then when you go to actually make it live, there's all kinds of weird things that can happen on YouTube. But if you click this and get notified, it'll show up here under your notifications, to where it'll like start counting, like you've got two notifications. So that is a huge thing. I'm gonna actually undo that because I don't want to see all of US Soccer's videos. I can go find them on Twitter, thanks. But that is a huge thing in terms of helping out the channel, because it means you're gonna get notified when content goes live. That's huge. Sharing, I don't talk about sharing as much because I want it to be more natural, but sharing on Facebook is huge. Sharing on Twitter is huge. Those are kind of the two main places that if you're going to share my channel's content or anybody's content that you like, that's obviously, it's driving traffic into the channel, right? So that's huge. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to tell you how you can help the channel. I mean, follow me on Twitter. It's at Gray Hair Gaming. Just the name of the channel, no spaces on Twitter. Yeah, I think that's all I really had to show you. I want to know your thoughts on the monetization strategy I have placed in front of you, like running ads. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you not mind? Do you hate them? What are your thoughts there? Would you support a Patreon model once I get it up and running? I hope to have that up and running by the end of the year. And if so, would you support a higher tier for something like XCOM, where I name, a soldier after you, and it wouldn't just be XCOM, like we could do it for other games too as we continue to grow the channel. So that's what's going on there. Thank you so much. I know I've rambled on for like 29 minutes by the time this video is done and rendered, but I was honest, I was blown away by October, and I can't thank you enough for your support. I'm always open to your comments on how I can improve, how I can pronounce stuff better in, Football Manager. Hopefully it's just Football Manager. I'm sure there's other things that you're like, you said that wrong. But your community means a lot to me. We do have a Discord channel. I plug that. It's in the description, where we have it's like 37, 38, 39 people now. Just kind of a small community, hopping on, having a chat every once in a while. I do like hint at things or like share things with that community first before they go live on the channel. So make sure you check that out. And thank you so much for an absolutely like insane bar graph and all that kind of stuff in October. It was crazy, and hopefully November is just as crazy. I don't know if we're gonna have a video get 13,000 views in 2 days, but I'm more about that consistency and continue to grow the channel. So thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.